Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is a Turan 3 prototype. This is a German Tier 5 medium tank, and the map is Live Oaks. I am going to get 3 kills. I'm going to do 1,500 damage, and I'm going to get 1,000 EXP. And 1,500 damage is very good for this tier. You can see that I'm one of the higher tier tanks on my team. Now, this position is usually where I go at the start of every game on this map, right into this bush. And if I play on the other spawn, not at this house, but the house behind it, also has some bushes that you can see right where I'm pointing in the middle of the map. And the reason why is that from here you can spot tanks that are up on this sniping ridge. You can shoot at tanks that go into the water, and there will be tanks that will do that. And you can monitor this gap over here. If you look at my spotting range, I can't really spot people in that gap unless they come a block closer to me. I need to increase my spotting distance, but for most tanks, I can see all the way to the red line, so I can spot the tanks as they cross the gap. And you can monitor the tanks that are over here behind the houses. And what I will do is I will take as many shots as I can, spot as many tanks, hit as many tanks crossing the gap. You want to hit them in the tail so they don't spot you. And then once they move into the city, I will go into the houses over here and flank them from behind. Or if they're in the houses, I will go to the right of the houses, flank them from behind, and then head into the city. So that's why I'm watching the gap and I'm watching that tank. Now, if you want to fire at him and not be spotted, you don't want to be in this position. You want to reverse a little bit, have as many bushes. For example, if I reversed a little bit and my gun were through this other batch of bushes, he would probably never spot me.
Penetration. Penetration. Target unlocked.
You can see a tank went through the gap and I missed him, the M4. He is within my spotting range. I would have been able to hit him. And I would have shot, ideally you want to shoot high explosive rounds when they go through the gap. For most tanks, there are exceptions, but for most tanks you shoot a high explosive round at the side in the track area, which is the lower hull. You'll do more damage, and you'll be able to use, you won't have that round wasted. Like the higher penetrating rounds you want to use when you hit the front of tanks. If you're going to have easier surface to hit, use your lowest penetrating round, which is the high explosive round, and it happens to do more damage. Now here's an example of a tank that went into the water area. He did get spotted. Based on what I see on the map, it looks like I spotted him because I am closest to him. And he's an easy target and he's going to die. He's a sitting duck. So he's dead. You'll notice that I make my mini-map as big as possible. And when I play now, I am constantly looking at the mini-map. One piece of advice I give people, when your gun is reloading, take that time to glance at your mini-map. And I also do it when I'm driving. So I drive and I look at the mini-map at the same time. And while I'm doing that, I study, I look where my team is, I look where the enemy team is. I try to figure out where I want to go, see if there's a place where I can flank. And sometimes I do have to make the mini-map smaller. So this is an example where I missed the OI. He went through the gap and unfortunately I did not see him. Normally I would head for the gap and flank them, but there's an OI to the right, so I have to flank him. He's going to expect me to be on the west side, so flanking him means going to the east, which is towards his base. And that Su-85, you can see he was last spotted right there, so I have to keep him in mind also. If I don't flank that OI, he'd be able to hit me in the rear. The other thing you do is look at the mini-map and you can see that there's an alleyway. If I get to that house, I'd be able to hit all the way across to where he is. You'll also notice that even though the first one was an AP round, I did switch to the APCR.
Penetration. Enemy armor is damaged.
Now he is a Tier 5 OI experimental. The Tier 5 OI experimental is very easy to penetrate in the turret. I should have no problems with him. Now he is pointing his gun at me. It looks like he fired a shot. I wonder if I noticed it while I was playing. But when they point their gun at you, don't go in and be a sucker. Okay, so it looks like I didn't realize that he fired his gun. But the reason why I did pull back is so that he would hopefully lose interest in me and go after someone else. Now remember, I'm turning right because I don't want to be towards the front of his tank. I want to go behind his tank, which means I have to go to the right. Also, this position right here, you can see down this road all the way over there. So sometimes what I do is I come and I sit in these bushes and I watch this road and I hit tanks that cross over. Unfortunately, I missed that target, wasn't paying attention to the map. And he would have been an easy tank to kill.
Penetration.
You want to hit this surface right here that's flat and perpendicular to me. Alternatively, you want to hit these machine gun turrets, the commander's hatch on the top, and the ammo rack for most of these tanks is right above the tracks, which is on the left here. You see this little space over here. All this on the side is the ammo rack. So if you're in the front and you hit over there, you increase the chance that you're going to ammo rack him. He has a long, narrow-barreled gun, which means it probably does less damage and reloads faster. It's probably not a derp gun. You'll also notice that I reverse so that I see less of his tank and he sees less of my tank. So I have more cover.
Penetration. Enemy is hit.
I almost missed him. I did get the kill. It's 7-3. You can see that there's an OI. The first thing I do is check his hit points.
Target acquired. Gotcha.
I don't know how I noticed that tank. I didn't hear an audible tone in the replay. Maybe I saw it on the map. There was probably an audible tone in the game, which is why I noticed he was there. Luckily, I killed him. The OI, as I was saying before, you want to check his hit points. He's got 550 hit points. And I have an ally, which is another OI, which is at full hit points, 700. And I've got the Type 95. This tank over here is not going to do anything in this game. So this Type 95, don't expect him to help with the OI. I'm sure he could damage it, but he's going to have a lot of problems if he gets too close to the OI. So when I see what's going on and I look at the mini-map and I gauge, are my allies going to be able to take him out all by themselves? If they can, I'm going to leave him alone and I'm going to go look for the SPGs. There's 3 SPGs still in the game. There's a T-28 in the G9 area. There's one tank that we don't know where it is, which has not been spotted yet in the game. If he was, he would have the red circle on the map. So based on this, I would say the smart thing to do is to go after the OI. We do have the 2 tank destroyers coming in. Now you'll see that the OI is getting beaten down. So my team is taking him out.
Enemy armor is damaged.
You'll notice that the T-95 fired 2 shots, and it looked like both of them did damage. So he did damage that tank. So I have 2 kills, scores 10-4. At this point, there's 3 SPGs in the game. I'm a high target right now for artillery, and this is the reason why. Number one, who is spotted in the game? Me, the Type 95, the OI, and possibly those tank destroyers. Probably spotted by that OI. Number two, you've got that T-28 who probably spotted the ST-39. So we've got a couple of tanks. Now, the OI over there, he's probably behind some solid buildings. Those tank destroyers are probably behind the slope. The Type 95 and I are out in the open. And because we're out in the open, it's an easy target for the SPGs, along with that ST-39. ST might be Sturmpanzer, I'm not sure. So I have to be really careful here that they might shoot at me, especially if since they have 3 SPGs in the game. So the smart thing to do is, excuse me, is to weave or go through all these houses on the left over here, or temporarily sit behind this building. If it were a clan battle, absolutely sit behind the building for a couple of seconds to become unspotted. These buildings can be destroyed by the SPG, but they will protect you. I decided to go through the center. You can see that one of the SPGs has been spotted on the east side. He's probably not going to aim at me. You definitely want to drive diagonally as much as possible. So if the SPG shoots at me, there's a increased chance he's going to miss. Now I'm heading directly at the area where I think the SPGs might be.
Target acquired.
That building that he's behind, to me, okay, absolutely, looks like it can be destroyed. So it's easier for me to destroy the building and shoot him rather than chase after him, which could take, 20 seconds. He could run away, he could kill me, his allies could kill me. So I would rather knock the building down and then shoot him. However, with the Turan 3, you only have 30 rounds or 32 rounds. You don't have a lot of ammo. So you have to be careful how much ammo you use.
Penetration.
You always want to keep on moving. You'll notice that I moved a small amount to avoid our incoming artillery. The T-28 did shoot me. So his second shot knocked down my ammo, and when your ammo is damaged, it increases your reload time, which means I need to use the repair kit to fix the ammo issue, which I just did. There's one tank left in the game.
Ready to fire. Penetration. I don't see the target.
He was destroyed, I believe, by the ST-39. The score is 15-4. I did get 3 kills. I did 1,500 damage. I got 1,000 EXP. This is the Turan 3 prototype. It's a German Tier 5 premium medium tank. It was manufactured by Hungary. So I'm going to talk about the tank a little bit. In terms of Tier 5 premium tanks, I would say this is not a high priority tank. I prefer the Excelsior and the Matilda 4 and the Matilda BP and the Ram 2 over this tank. The gun is kind of average for penetration. If you do have a lot of German tanks, I definitely recommend it if you want to train your crew. For example, when you get the 2 times bonus, the 3 times bonus, the 5 times bonus, you can roll out with these tanks and advance your crew a lot. Sometimes I get as much as 10,000 EXP, and with the crew bonus, I believe it might even be 15,000 EXP you can get with one of these tanks just from one game on the days when they have the biggest bonuses. The other time I play these is during medium tank week when they give bonuses for driving medium tanks. I roll out all my medium tanks. When I do play my tanks, this is one of the last tanks that I play. I play by class. I play tank, destroyer, medium, heavy, etc. And when I get to my medium tanks, it's one of the last tanks I play, in the lower tiers because I just don't like playing it that much. The armor is not that great. I'm not blocking armor like crazy. It's not that fast. It's moderate speed. It's kind of like playing a Chinukai, but I think the Chinukai has a better gun. I'm not sure. It's similar to playing those types of tanks. For the price, yeah, I think it's worth it, but don't make it your first choice for Tier 5. Definitely look at those other tanks. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, please post below.